What's up, my Michaelite gang? Welcome back to my channel. As you know, I'm Michaels. So today I want to do something a little bit different. If you're trying to purchase a mobile home and want to know the process and what to do to get there, then I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. So I sold my home back in May of 2022 because I was in the point of my life where I wanted to be excluded from everybody and I just wanted to have my own personal space with nothing around me. That way I can do whatever I want. You know, I have chickens. I like just have like a farm, a little farm in the back, and just live a country life. So I was living in the city in Hephzibah, and I found some land in Waynesboro, Georgia. I purchased that, and then I purchased the mobile home. The mobile home company that I use, the mobile home dealer that I use was Rainbow Homes, which they are located in Augusta, Georgia. So if you are interested, go check them out. They're really good with you. They will work with you, and it's to your needs. So they're there for you, to satisfy you. So today I just want to show you a little bit of what has been happening so far since May, and right now we're in October. We're in the 3rd of October. So it's a long process. So if you're trying to go this route, I want to show you a little bit more or less of what you have to do and what to expect when you get to this point. Excuse me. So I first went to the mobile home dealership and I applied for a home there, and they work with several banks. It all depends on your credit as well and your income. So I went to Rainbow Homes, and I found a home that was beneficial for me, what I liked, plus it was inexpensive at that time, and so it was a good deal. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, 1,800 square feet. It's really nice inside. I can't show you inside today because the keys are not here, and I haven't did my closing yet. So you will just see more or less what has been happening outside of that. But like I told you, it's a long process to get to this point. So as far as that, I got the home delivered about 2 weeks ago, and they come in 2 separate trucks. They bring it onto the property, but you have to make sure you have 2 options. So when you purchase your home, let's go back to the beginning. When you purchase your home, you have an option to buy land that's already cleared, or you can buy land that hasn't been cleared, but you have to clear it yourself, or you can hire somebody to clear it yourself. So I found the land first, and it was about 2.75 acres for $25,000, and I purchased that land, and then I had to find someone to clear it for me. So it all depends on the county that you're in. So this county, in order to clear more than an acre, you need to get a type of permit or have some environmental, it's something like that. I'll get into that in another video. If you have any questions or anything like that, leave down below the comments, and then we can talk about it, and I'll let you know. I don't want to make this video longer than what it's not supposed to be. So yeah, so that's the first process. Find the land, then going to find the home that you want to your needs, and then from there you apply for it, and then they'll let you know more or less if you qualified, how much you qualified for, and their down payment and all that good stuff. So once again, back to what I was saying, I purchased a home from Rainbow Homes, and then I purchased the land from, I found it on Zillow, and here in Waynesboro and Burke County in Waynesboro, Georgia. So I did all of that. Once you get all of that stuff, and then you apply for the loan, you get approved and whatnot, and then there comes the process with the bank. So depending on which bank you go with or which bank approves you, then you have to send a whole bunch of documentation, your pay stubs, they do your credit check, they check verification of employment, they check your debt. So before you get into all of this, make sure you clear out all your debts, make sure all your bills are updated, because they do check on your payments on your bills. If you do have any other car payments or any other type of payments or loans that you have open, try to limitize that or try to close it out, because they are going to look to that, and then that's when your debt to ratio income comes into place, and then you got to get rid of some stuff. So make sure all that's cleared before you do anything. You can still do it like that, and they'll give you other options. It all depends on how you do it, because I sold my house, so whatever income I got from that, I paid off a little bit of my debt so I can have no debt. So when it comes to closing, everything just falls into place. That's the first thing. That's the second thing, because first is to find a home and whatnot, see what your approval is, and then clear all your debts and whatnot. Okay, the third step is finding the right location. You want to find a location where it's gonna be inexpensive. Property taxes, it all depends. I mean, like I said, it's for your needs. Wherever you want to go, wherever you want to move, just make sure it's good for you and it's what you want. Because at the end of the day, this is what you're paying for. So what you're paying for is long term, unless you're just using this for an investment or whatever the case is. So yeah, that's step number 3. Step number 4 is patience, because you need a lot of patience in this because it's a long process. I sold my home in May of 2022. We're now in October and we're almost coming to closing because the banks, you know, sometimes they ask a lot of, the bank is really, they're real strict. They're not as lenient as people say they are, and they're really strict. They want the paperwork to be updated. Your pay stubs have to be updated. Your credit, you want to make sure they check your debt to if you tell them you're going to pay off your debt, they do check to see if you paid it off. And they ask for a lot of paperwork, depending on your situation, depending on your credit as well. So it all depends for different people. For me, it was like that. So if you have okay credit and you want to make it better, then this is the route to go as well. But my credit is fair, and now it's good. My credit has been good because I paid off my debts and I monitor all my credit cards, so I know that at the end of the day, I'm not doing anything wrong with my credit or messing with my credit to affect me in this process. Because you cannot have any open credits while you're in this process. You have to make sure all your credits are paid off on time, all your bills are paid off on time, and do not go over your credit limit, because then that falls into place. Once all of this process is over, you can do whatever you want. So now let's go outside and I'm going to show you the process of what they have been doing so far. Like I told you, my home was delivered 2 weeks ago and they actually put it together. My property had nothing whatsoever on there. So I had to, you know, like I told you, I had to get it cleared out. Right now it's all dirt. They haven't graded it out completely. I don't have any decks yet. That's coming up next. But the only thing that I had done so far was I cleared the land out. I got the septic done because there was no septic, there was no well. So the well company is here now. The septic was already done a few days ago, so that's a plus. So the only thing I'm really waiting for now is the power. And that's another thing. I'll get into that a little bit later about the power. So let's go outside and I'm going to show you more or less exactly what has been happening and what they have done and what they have completed and what needs to be done next. So let's get into it. All right, so this is the property over here. This is the driveway. When you do purchase the property, you do have when you do clear out the property, you do have an option whether you want to create a driveway, which, you know, if I'm going off the road, there's no driveway, so they will have to create one. But I decided to just go with the driveway that was already here to save me some money. So I left the driveway here. It is gravel, and the only thing I did was just made 2 entrances on these sides over here, because you know, I want to go in one way and come out the other. I don't want to come in and out the same way. So let's walk through here so you can see more or less where the house has been placed. This is about 1 acre that has been cleared. It is a mess right now because, like I told you, they're still under construction doing all of this. So I decided to place the house about 100 feet off the front road, well, from the property line, which is up here. So I decided to do 100 feet off the property line over here. So this is the home. And I already got the foundations installed. That's already completed. They have the bricks over here so they can do the brick skirting. That hasn't been completed yet. This should have been completed, but it hasn't. And then over here, this is part of, I guess the sand is for the foundation over here, so they can start this. Like I told you, it's a long process. I've been waiting quite some months already for them to do this. So I just want to show you more or less. This is the home right here. It's about 1,800 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. And let's walk over here just so you can see more or less what they have done. So this is the foundation that they have to put it on. It has to get inspected. Once they create the footers and the bricks for the bottom of the home, excuse me, you have to get it inspected because that's the only way it's gonna pass. It has to pass inspection before they can move any further. So they did all of that. They put the foundations in the bottom. It passed inspection, so we're moving on to the next step. Okay, let's walk over here. If you walk over here, this is where the septic is. It will be right here. for them to clear it out. Like if they want, when you clean out the septic, it will be there, but it will be 100 feet off the home, which is on this side. So let's walk around the other way so you can see more or less. They're supposed to get started on all this bricks. And the thing is, like, when you clear out the land, you want to make sure they grade it out. It does cost a little extra, but I'm just gonna go with a different company to do it because I just want to go that route. I didn't like the way they did it before, so I'm just gonna choose a different company. So this is back here. What they did, they cleared it out. There is still some debris on here, which they have to clear it out. They didn't do that yet. And moving on to the back of the house, make sure everything was inspected. All the plumbing work is down here. These bugs. So all that has to be in process before they can move on to the next step. Once again, that's the bricks over here. The company that I'm using for the well, because this has no well, there was no well on here, there's no power, there was no septic, so I had to do everything from scratch. So mind you, it's a long process and it does cost, but that will all be part of the loan. You have an option to put it part of the loan, or you have an option to pay for it out of pocket. And since there was no water on here, there was no well, so I went with this company, which is David Lucas. Awesome company. They're highly recommended to everybody. They're known over here especially. So they're the ones who do the well. It's like a day process. So they just set everything up, and I believe they're going to be finishing it tomorrow or today. It look like they installed some wiring already for the water. And this is the work that they're doing here to install the well, which is going to go back here because the well has to be about 150 feet from the septic, which the septic is in the front and the well will be in the back of the house. So this is what it looks like as far as like all the tubing, the PVCs that they have to put underground for the well. And the rest of that is all the land that I'm going to clear later on. There's about another 2 acres. Yeah, about 2 acres that I have to clear out. So that's coming later on. So as you see, like I told you, this is David Lucas Well and Drilling Company. They're pretty awesome, highly recommended. People talk good about them, 5-star company. So check them out if you're ever looking for, if you need a well, or you need a well drilling, or you need just an installation, or you just need a pump and a filter. They do it all. So that's the company. So if you ever trying to purchase a home in Hephzibah, Waynesboro, Burke County, anywhere like that, check them out. This is their information. Look them up. So as you see it, like I was saying earlier, it's a process. It takes a little bit of a time, like I told you, because the well hasn't been installed yet. I believe they started it, but they have not completed it. And, you know, due to the hurricane and everything, they had the weekend, nobody did anything. So they're back starting all over in the beginning of the week. So that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. If you guys are trying to purchase some property and there's like nothing on there, there's like no septic, no well, no power, remember, you have to start from scratch. So it is a process. It takes a long time to get all of this done. But it all depends on the weather. It depends on the company you're using. It depends the time schedule they have to come out to do it. Because right now, I mean, we're now into fall, and a lot of them are booked. A lot of them are not. So it all depends on who you use, like I told you. Another thing that I want to tell you is that since there were no power on here, the power company, they come out and you have a consultation with them, and they ask you which way you want to go. So it all depends on the way that you want to go. If you want to go overhead, if you want to go underhead, it all depends. I decided, me personally, to go underground for the simple fact is that if the weather or the trees, if you know it is a wooded area, then you want to stay away from the trees, and you don't. And not only that, it makes it look better as well when you have all your wiring underground. So over here is the meter, and where all the power is going to run to is going to go down through here under the ground, and then it's going to go through all this all the way to the light pole that's over there. So once they do the wiring and all of that there, you have nothing to worry about. You don't have to worry about no power cords hanging over your house. If there's a storm or anything like that, you don't have to worry about. As far as like services, it's pretty good. If I was you, I would decide to go underground because it might be a little bit, it doesn't even cost a lot depending how far off the road it is. It doesn't cost a lot, and it's preferable to do it like that anyways. Not only because of the service, but it's also because the maintenance, it looks way better because you don't see any power cords. So that's another option. Like I told you, have to get the septic, have to get the well, and I have to get power. All that is included in the loan. They pay for it. As far as the electricity, you have to come out of pocket for that if you decide to go underground. If you do it overhead, then it's free. So you have the option. I decided to go that route because I wanted to look more nice and more presentable, and I don't want anything to be in the way because, like I told you, it's a new property. It's from scratch. I cleared it out. I don't know what I'm going to build on here because I want to build a carport, and I just don't want the wires to come in the way with whatever I decide to do later on in the future. So step number 1 is, first of all, finding a bank that you think is going to accept you. Step number 2 is going to your nearest dealer, your mobile home dealer, depending where you want to go, and try to get an approval from them, a pre-approval as well. Step number 3, choose the house that you want. Don't let them upsell you. Choose what is to your needs. Just know that once you do step number 2 and you know you're pre-approval for, what you pre-approve for, you already know more or less in your head how much money you have to use and how much money you want to use or you don't want to use, so it's up to you. So once you get that pre-approval, you know what you qualified for. Find a home within that budget. You know, sometimes there's nicer ones that cost a little bit more, but at the end of the day, work with what you have. And that's what I did. I worked with what I have. This house cost less than what they actually approved me for, because I knew that eventually I'm gonna do add-ons as well. As far as, like I told you, the septic, the well, power, decks, all that stuff is included in your loan. And right now, like I told you, it's from scratch, so there's nothing on here. And let me show you back here as well. I forgot to show you this. Since there's nothing back here, this is where the deck is gonna go. I have to get it built as well. It's gonna be a 10 by 20, so it's gonna be from, I can't really show you through the camera because you're not really gonna see it. But it's gonna be a 10 by 20 that I wanna put back here, and then the front is gonna be a 10 by 10. Because I want enough space that when I have gatherings back here, there's enough space for everybody and just to be more comfortable. So yeah, that's another thing. So the decks are part of the loan. Everything is part of the loan as far as it goes. Anything extra will have to come out of pocket. But like I told you, you have the option whether you want to choose to put it part of the loan or pay it out of pocket. At the end of the day, if you pay out of pocket, it will be less money as far as like mortgage wise, but it doesn't really make a difference. And if you plan to refinance, I'll just throw everything in there, save you some time, save you some money, keep the money in your pocket. When you refinance, you'll be good to go. Because right now the interest rate are sky high, and trust me, you don't want to go that route when the interest rate is high. So I just work with what I have. Any questions, let me know, comment down below and let me know what you think. I'm going to show you a tour of the house once I get the keys and once the closing comes. So make sure you comment, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Any other questions, please leave a comment down below. Give it a thumbs up, turn your notifications on whenever you know that I post, and I'll see you in the next one. We out.